Hello, dear ones. Welcome to Practice Indies Donation Yoga. We will have a 60-minute flow together. And the name of this class is our Practice Being You. So as we get set up for today, you will want a couple of blocks. In general, I think it's easiest to have the blocks towards the front of the mat where there'll be an easy access for you. And I prefer to always have a blanket in the middle of my mat to help with my knees and my hips and just kind of generally give me a little added support. Beyond that, let's see, I don't think we need any other props today. Those are always helpful ones to kind of help you flow. If you don't have any blocks, you can use some hardback books. In general, we don't need them a ton in today's practice. It's just helpful for a few things that we're going to do. So you can adapt as we go through if you don't have anything handy. And I'm going to add a playlist into the chat if you would like that as well. So we're going to get started here. As we begin, we're going to come into Sukhasana, into easy seated pose. And you can feel free to simply let yourself be in contact straight with your mat. Today I'm feeling called to really elevate my hips again we're going to sit here and enjoy some meditation together as we begin. So what I'm actually going to do is grab one of my blocks, and I'm actually just going to use both of them and place the blanket on top for myself, just a little added support. I'm coming to sit, taking the opportunity to move the flesh out from underneath the sits bones. So let yourself get really rooted, letting the legs come to cross, growing tall through the spine. Slight tuck of the chin as you bow towards your heart, sliding the shoulder blades down the back. If you like, you can begin to soften your eyes or close your gaze. Just let the eyelids close if that's comfortable for you. And begin to tune in to the wave of your breath, the rhythm of your heart. With your inhalation, inviting the breath deeply and fully in through the nose, down through the body, into the pelvic bowl, expanding through your lower triangle. And as you exhale, allowing yourself to release and let go. Letting each inhalation be full and deep as you're infilled, as you expand in your torso, in your hips. And as you exhale, simply allowing yourself to rest here, to begin to tune in to the sensations within you. Breathing in fully and deeply. Exhaling as you lengthen the breath. This week at the studio, we've been exploring and working with sadhana. Sadhana is our daily spiritual practice. And with the right intention and bhav, our attitude, the orientation with which we show up to whatever activity or engagement it is that we are doing, the right intention and bhav can make literally anything a spiritual practice. So the point here is to simply tune into what is meaningful for you and to let this space be understood and seen and felt as your spiritual practice today. With the spiritual practice, with our sadhana, we begin to tune inward. And so as you allow yourself to simply breathe right where you are, give yourself permission to tune inward. To feel the sensations within your tissues, to feel the pathways of your breath. And allow yourself to perceive life as it is. invite you to bring your attention and awareness to your navel, to your belly button. That point within your body where your very nourishment and flow of life has been. And as you inhale, as you breathe into the belly, notice the navel gently moving outward from your center. And as you exhale, noticing your navel come back to rest, come back into your core. And in your mind's eye, as you let yourself sit in that space of awareness, just follow the movement there. Imagine tracing this gentle circle as you fill with the breath and as you release. Our sadhana, our daily practice, in a very deep sense, yoga gives us the opportunity and the invitation to have a practice of being ourselves. So this invitation to go within in our sadhana, to perceive life as it is, really means for us to come with fresh eyes and heart, to set down and set aside any expectations or judgments, whatever we believe we are or life is, whatever story we might have around that, to soften in that space, to clear the slate, to show up with the intention to simply listen, to see, to perceive, to be as we are. So as we move through our physical practice today, and as you move forward in your day and in your life, the invitation is to really orient from the inside out, to feel how you feel in each of the postures, each of the movements, to simply be in the noticing and the curiosity of it all, to notice how you feel from the inside out, to notice how you are right here in this breath, just as you are. And to know that that is a deeply spiritual practice, but one that does not necessarily have to be so serious. Playfulness is often just as important as a sincerity or a seriousness in our practice. So remember that it can also involve humor and heart and lightheartedness. I invite you to take one more deep, full breath here. And with that, we're going to begin with some movement. If you like, you can remove the props underneath your seat if you're using any. Not totally required in this moment. So we're going to bring our hands to our knees. Again, growing tall through the spine, opening through the chest as you drop the shoulder blades down the back. And as you inhale, bring the heart and the belly forward. As you exhale, you're going to press in round through the shoulders, tilting through the pelvis. Inhale, hollowing out the low back. As you exhale, shifting back. We're kind of coming into this cat-cow movement with the spine, even as we stay seated. Rocking through the pelvis and the tailbone, arching through the back. Bring the heart forward at its fullness. And then also letting yourself feel into the back of your heart. Inhale as you come forward. Exhale as you shift back. 2 more rounds of breath here. Beautiful. Releasing that movement, coming back to center. We're going to extend the legs out in front of you, just rocking through the knees first. Bring your legs out long, pointing through the toes, flexing through the ankles. Just opening up the body as we begin. Then releasing that movement, you're going to bring your left leg over your right. Inhale as you grow tall through the spine. As you exhale, you're going to twist towards the left. You can either hug that knee into your chest or leverage that leg to open as you twist. Left hand plants behind the spine. Continue to bring your heart and sternum forward. As you exhale, releasing through that, twisting over to the right, just coming into a little counter stretch here. And shifting back to center, extending the left leg out long. Bring the right leg in, crossing the right leg over the left. Inhale as you grow tall through the spine. As you exhale, twisting to the right. Feeling the fullness of your breath here. Beginning to notice what sensations you feel in this posture. Going from the depths of you all the way out to your external experience. Inhale one more time. Exhale, release the twist, coming over to the left, just do a little counter stretch. Moving back through center, extending the legs out long, rocking through the knees. Then bringing your soles of your feet towards your tailbone, letting the soles of the feet open to one another, letting the knees go out wide to either side. Inhale, growing tall through the spine. As you exhale, bending forward, coming into a little bound angle. Feeling the sensations through your hips and your low belly. Feeling the stretch through your legs. Feeling your heart shifting towards the ground. One more deep, full inhalation. Pausing at the top of the breath. Sipping in even deeper, filling up, filling up. Exhale, sigh it out the mouth. Coming back to seated. Extending the legs out long, rocking through the knees one more time. Bringing the legs to cross, coming up and over, coming to your knees. Hands and knees, we're going to shift into a tabletop position. If you had any remaining props, you can shift those. I'm going to move my blocks to the top of my mat. And again, I like that extra support underneath my knees with my blanket. So bringing the knees planted underneath the hips, the palms planted underneath the shoulders. Now we're going to come into a full cat-cow flow. So on the inhalation, drop the belly, lifting the gaze. As you exhale, pressing and rounding through the shoulders. Inhale, gaze goes forward, crown of the head and tailbone goes to the sky. As you exhale, hollowing through the belly, tucking through the tailbone. 2 more rounds of your breath. Going back to that neutral spine. You're going to keep your hips over your knees, but begin to extend out the palms longer and begin to melt the heart towards the ground. Maybe the forehead or the chin find the mat. Noticing your experience from the inside out. Remembering that you are right here, right now. On your next exhale, gently bring the palms back underneath the shoulders. You're going to bring the knees wide on your mat, sink your hips back to your heels, coming into a child's pose. Remembering that you are supported. Remembering that everything you need is within you now or within your reach. On your next exhale, coming back to that tabletop position. Taking a big step out with your right foot, planting your right foot, toes pointing forward. Gently coming to a kneeling position in this modified pose. Inhale, extending the arms up overhead. As you exhale, bending over to the right, right hand finds the right leg, left fingertips extend overhead. Inhale as you reach through those top fingertips. As you exhale, gently flowing back to your mat, stepping that right leg in. We're going to take both of our blocks this time, bringing them on their medium setting. And if you need, you can stack some books this way. And so we're going to bring your elbows onto the blocks. And then pointing your fingers towards the sky, you can bring your hands to a little prayer position. And as you again melt your heart towards the ground, maybe your prayer hands begin to shift to the back of your heart. So letting your chest open, feeling that stretch through your triceps. Feeling how you feel right where you are. Two more rounds of breath here. Then gently bringing your hands forward, broadening through the chest, coming back to that tabletop position, shifting your blocks off of your mat. Taking a big step out with the left foot this time. Gently coming to that kneeling modified position, our gate pose. Inhale, extending the arms overhead. And then as you exhale, bending over to the left. Reaching through your top fingertips, feeling that right side body. Feeling how your ribs expand and open. More deep, full inhale. As you exhale, gently coming back to your mat. Stepping that left foot back in, let the knees go wide, let the hips sink back, child's pose. As you exhale, coming back to that tabletop position. Tucking the toes, lifting the hips up and back, coming to a down dog. Taking a couple minutes to pedal out through the feet, bending through the right knee, really extending through the left heel, and then switching sides, bending through the left knee, extending through the right heel. Feeling what you need here. And then really extending your hips to the back of your mat, finding extension from the tips of your fingers through to your tailbone. Inhale, extend the right foot to the back of the room, feeling into this 3-limb down dog. As you exhale, planting the right foot back on the mat. You'll be bending deeply through the knees, bringing the low belly to the thighs, and then extending your legs from there, keeping that engagement. Inhale, extend the left leg to the back of the room, keeping those hips square to your mat. As you exhale, stepping that left foot back down, bending deeply through the knees. Low belly goes to the thighs, and extending once again. One more deep, full inhalation. As you exhale, gaze goes to the top of your mat. As you begin to tiptoe forward, bring your feet behind your hands, coming into a forward fold. Let yourself dangle here. Maybe bringing each of your hands to the opposite elbow. With each inhalation, letting yourself be filled, noticing that constructive tension. And then as you exhale, let yourself release and let everything go. Maybe wagging a little from side to side, just swaying through the hips and the arms. Then letting the fingers fall back towards your mat. Finding stillness in your movement. Inhale, halfway lift. Palms go to the shins, extending from tailbone through crown of the head. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lifting through the head, chest, and heart. Arms go up overhead. As you exhale, hands come to heart center. Taking a moment here to tune in with the soles of your feet. Feel yourself connected and rooted on your mat. Inhale, circling the arms up overhead, reaching through your palms. As you exhale, hands flow through heart center, bowing forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, really growing from the tailbone through the crown of your head. Exhale, folding forward as you micro bend in your knees. Inhale, lift up, reach up, palms connect overhead. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Remembering your intention, your bhav. Remembering this is a practice of being you. There's no right or wrong. You can simply ensure that we are safe as we shift from breath to breath, from posture to posture. Through a practice of being present and mindful as we move through each breath, as we feel each heartbeat, as we flow from posture to posture. Inhale, circling the arms up overhead. As you exhale, hands come to heart center. Sink the hips down and back, almost as if you're sitting in a chair, coming into our chair pose. So really keeping your knees in alignment with your ankles, keeping your toes pointing forward, extending arms up overhead if you like, or keeping them at heart center if you feel more rooted there. Inhaling fully as you lift and spread through your toes, and bring your toes back to the mat. Inhale fully, exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up, reach up, palms connect. As you exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale, extending the arms out to either side. As you exhale, hands come to your sacrum, to your low back, fingers pointing down towards the ground. Then pulling the elbows towards each other, opening through the chest and the heart. Inhale fully through this back bend. As you exhale, release the hands by your side. Inhale, circling the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands flow through heart center, bow forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, stepping back, plank pose. And you can come keeping this plank position, or you can drop your knees down to your mat. Inhale for strength, pulling the low belly to your spine. As you exhale, lowering with control and intention. Inhale, lifting the head, chest, and heart. Exhale, tucking the toes, moving to your down dog, bringing your hips up and back. Inhale fully. Exhale completely. Inhale here. As you exhale, finding your way to the top of your mat, maybe taking larger steps, maybe sticking with those baby steps. Maybe beginning to jump forward. Inhale to lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lift up, reach up, palms connect. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Extending your arms out to either side. Bring each hand to the opposite shoulder, just giving yourself a little embrace here. Perhaps closing the eyes, feeling through a full round of breath, being right where you are with yourself. Letting yourself be as you are, and giving yourself permission to see yourself with fresh eyes and heart right here and now. Releasing the arms by your side. Inhale, circling the arms up overhead, sinking the hips down, chair pose. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Planting the hands, taking a big step back with the right foot. We're going to ground the right knee, untuck the right toes, coming into Ajnayasana, hello lunge. Bringing those hips forward. Keeping that left knee in alignment, but taking a deep bend. Inhale, extending the arms to either ear. As you exhale, hands come to clasp at the low back. Drawing down through the arms, opening through the chest. Inhale, feel the fullness of your heart here. And as you exhale, release, framing that front foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, step back plank pose. Inhale for strength. Exhale, lowering to the ground. Inhale, lifting the head, chest, and heart, keeping those shoulder blades down from the ears. Exhale, finding your flow to down dog. Inhaling fully. Exhaling completely. Lift through the right foot. And then as you exhale, stepping the right foot forward. Bringing left knee to the ground, untucking left toes. Coming into Anjaneyasana on the other side. Feeling into your foundations here. Inhale, reaching overhead. As you exhale, hands come to clasp, opposite thumb on top this time. Opening through the chest. Breathing fully. Exhale, releasing, letting that go. Framing that front foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Step the back foot forward, forward fold. Inhale the halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lift up, reach up, palms connect overhead. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Softening through the gaze, closing the eyes. Tuning in to how you feel your breath and your heartbeat right here within you. As we begin to flow through movement, the pace will quicken, but we always have the opportunity to perceive and to be right where we are. And to know that this breath, this heartbeat is enough. And that we, just as we are brilliant, are whole, are ready for this flow of life that lives and breathes and moves within us right here and now. Fluttering the eyes open, inhale, circling the arms up overhead, reaching through the fingertips as you exhale, hands come to heart center, sink those hips down, chair pose. Inhale, extending the arms out to either side, and then bringing each hand to the opposite shoulder, embracing yourself, even as we hold a position of more challenge. Remembering that we're right where we are, that we will never abandon ourselves, that this is enough. As it exhales, you release the bind, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Planting the palms, stepping back, plank pose. Dropping the knees if you need. Inhale, pull the low belly to the spine. Exhale, lowering with control and intention. Inhale, halfway lift. With it broadening through the heart. Exhale, coming to down dog. Inhale fully. Exhale, bringing the knees to your mat, letting the knees go wide, sinking the hips back, child's pose. Letting yourself be held here. We're going to begin to shift into more flow. Letting our bodies move more quickly. Noticing how our breath and our heartbeats react to that quickening. Noticing how we are as we move through each posture. Noticing where our minds go. And letting ourselves release from any judgment or expectation to just simply notice breath by breath, heartbeat by heartbeat. Coming back to that tabletop position, shifting the knees back underneath the hips. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, down dog. Inhale fully. Exhale, moving your way to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lift up, reach up, palms connect. Exhale, hands come to heart center. So here we go as we begin to move. First, look down at your feet. Make sure that your feet are hip-width distance apart. Notice that as you shift your weight forward and back and side to side, that your feet react to that movement. And let yourself be fully supported and fully centered within the space of your feet. So sometimes we have a tendency to bring our bodies forward, or we have a tendency to bring our bodies back. And there's a tendency in that, there's a reflection in that. Do we tend to be focused on the future? Do we tend to be focused on the past? And in this moment, we're giving ourselves permission to be right where we are. So coming to a space where all four corners of your feet are grounded. Inhale, circling the arms up overhead. As you exhale, hands come to heart center, sink the hips down, chair pose. See if you can sink the hips even deeper, even if it's just a micrometer. Noticing where you tend to give out to the challenge. See if you can deepen even more. Inhale fully. Exhale completely. Inhale once again as you fill. As you exhale, take a big step back with the right foot opening to warrior two. So feet come into alignment with each other, big bend in that front knee. Hips and shoulders go square to the long edge of your mat. Noticing if you have a tendency to reach forward or reach back. And letting yourself be balanced right here in the moment. Notice if you have a tendency to bow out of the bend in that left knee and take it deeper. Inhale fully. Exhale, flip the front palm, extend the left palm to the sky, revolved warrior. Feel like you can tuck the right arm behind the low back, coming into a little half bind. And as you exhale, left forearm goes to left thigh. As you open into extended side angle, you can keep that half bind or extend right fingertips to the sky or to the front of the room. Noticing your breath. Noticing your heartbeat. One more deep, full inhalation. As you exhale, begin to frame the front foot as you lift up through the back heel. And on your next exhalation, step the back foot forward, sink those hips down, coming into Malasana. So you can point your toes out to the corners of your mat. Giving yourself space to just be playful and open into the hips right now. Maybe shifting from side to side. Letting your breath be full and then coming to a stillness as the heels really reach towards your mat. Bring your hands to heart center, engaging through the outer hips, letting the legs spread wider. Taking a full round of breath here. Growing tall through the spine. Planting the palms in front of you. You can either trust fall to seated or simply come to seated. So if you're going to trust fall, you're going to extend your arms out in front of you and really engage through the core as you bring your hips back. Never works super well for me, so I'm just going to simply come to seated. So coming to seated in the middle of your mat, bringing the soles of your feet to your mat, bending through your knees. Tucking your hands under the outer edges of your knees. Inhale, grow tall through the spine, sliding your shoulder blades down the back, engaging through your core, bringing your back to a 45-degree angle, half boat. Letting yourself hold yourself in this position. Noticing that challenge of your inner core, that inner fire at your center. Inhale fully. As you exhale, lower halfway and hold. Inhale fully. Exhale, lowering all the way to the mat. All the way to your back. And as you exhale, hugging your knees into your chest. Rocking a little from side to side. And then beginning to rock and roll long along the spine. Just enjoying that massage of the spine into the mat. And then eventually building momentum, Coming back to seated, coming up and over to a crouch position. So we're going to keep the feet closer together, keep the legs closer together than that full malasana. But coming into that crouch position, if you like, you bring your hands to your blocks to give yourself some spaciousness in your upper back. Inhale fully. As you exhale, lift the hips up, coming into that forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up, reach up, palms connect. Exhale, hands come to heart center, sink the hips down, chair pose. Exploring your depth here. Notice where we tend to bow out at a space of comfortable challenge and see if you can take it even deeper. Lift through the toes, then spread them and bring them back to the mat. Lift gently through the right heel. Bring that back to the mat. Lift gently through the left heel. Bring that back to the mat. Inhale fully as you fill with the breath. Exhale, step the left foot back, coming to a warrior two. Letting your arms and chest open. Letting your hips and your shoulders be in alignment with the long edge of your mat. Letting the shoulders slide down the back as you open through the chest and the heart. Inhale fully. Exhale, flip the front palm, revolve your warrior. If you like, you can take that half bind with the left arm behind the low back, reaching towards the right hip. And as you exhale, right forearm finds right thigh, keeping the bind if you like, or extending left fingertips to the sky or to the front of the room. More deep, full inhale as you reach. And as you exhale, framing that front foot, lifting through the back heel. And as you exhale, stepping forward, lowering the hips into that yogi squat. Taking some space between the feet if you need. Now, really engaging through the outer hips to open wide through the inner groin. Bring your hands to your blocks to really bring the upper body forthright upwards, growing tall through the spine. Shift one block right in front of you, right along your midline. Bring your left palm to the block, extend right fingertips up to the sky. Inhale, reaching as you open your chest. Exhale, shifting the right foot to right hand to the block, extending left fingertips up to the sky. Twisting to the other side. Inhale fully. Exhale completely. Releasing that twist, setting the blocks aside. And again, finding your way to come to seated in the middle of your mat. Letting it be a challenge of the core if you want to fire up through that space. And letting it be a gentler experience if that serves you here. Bring the soles of your feet to your mat. Tucking your fingers underneath the knees, extending tall through the spine, engaging through your core, zipping up through the low belly, lowering to 45 degrees. Inhale fully. Exhale, lowering halfway and hold. Inhale fully. Exhale, lowering all the way to the ground. Once you find your way there, hugging the knees into the chest, rocking a little from side to side, and then bringing the knees in towards the armpits, bringing the hands either to the ankles or the outer edges of the feet, opening into a happy baby. You let this be playful here, either shifting from one side to the other, maybe extending through one leg then the other, or perhaps just really holding and softening into that space of opening. Inhale fully and deeply. As you exhale, sigh it out the mouth. Let it all go. Hugging the knees into the chest. Hugging the knees in. Inhale, begin to rock and roll along the spine. Just feeling yourself connect to your mat, to the ground. And then as you're ready, coming up into that crouch position. Feeling that stretch through the ankles, through the ligaments of the feet. And then lifting the hips, coming into that forward fold, aligning your feet. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lift up, reach up, palms connect. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Sinking the hips down, chair pose. Inhale fully. As you exhale, releasing your hands to your hips, begin to shift your weight over to the left. Bring the right ankle on top of the left knee, coming into a standing pigeon. Keeping that bend in the legs. Inhale fully. As you exhale, step the right foot back, opening to a warrior two. Inhale here. Exhale, flip the front palm, revolving your warrior, taking that half bind if you like. As you exhale, coming back to that warrior. Inhale, circling the arms up to the sky. As you exhale, hands come to clasp at the low back, drawing down through the arms, opening through the chest. And then as you exhale, bringing the torso inside that left leg. Humble warrior. Breathing in fully. Exhaling completely. Inhale once again. Exhale, releasing the bind, framing that left foot. Lifting up through the back heel, stepping forward, shifting the hips down into that malasana. Moving through a couple breaths. Finding what you need here. And then eventually making your way to seated in the middle of your mat. Now, if you like, you can stick with that half boat, keeping your feet on the ground. And also, if you want to deepen that space of challenge, you can lift the legs, balancing on that tailbone, and come into a full boat. You can also extend the legs or extend the arms to add challenge. So inhale fully. As you exhale, lowering halfway, hold. Inhale here. Exhale, lowering to the mat. Inhale to release. Exhale. Bring the knees into the chest, rocking from side to side. And then begin to rock and roll, coming back to that crouch. Feeling fluidity in your movements, even if it's not perfect, even if it feels awkward. Remember, we can drop those expectations and judgments and simply come to the practice of being as we are. Lifting up through the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up, reach up, palms connect. Exhale, hands float through to heart center. Sink those hips down, chair pose. Finding your depth here. Exhale, releasing the hands to your hips, shifting the weight to the right, bringing left ankle on top of right knee, coming into. If you find challenge in your balance, it's probably because you're in your mind, or at least that's the case for me. So come back into your body, sink your awareness deep down into your hips, shift your weight to the right, find a spot that doesn't move to help you find stability. And then deepen into that pigeon, noticing the impermanence of the movement, and taking a big step back with the left foot, opening to a warrior two. Inhale fully, exhaling completely. Inhale fully, filling with the breath. Flip the front palm, exalting into that revolved warrior, taking the half bind if you like. Inhale here. Exhale, coming back to that warrior two. Inhale and extending the arms to the sky. Exhale, hands come to clasp, opposite thumb on top. And then humbling your warrior as you're ready. Being in the flow of your breath, your heart. Exhale, releasing the bind, framing the front foot, lifting up through the back heel, stepping forward, coming into that malasana. Noticing how your body wants to move here. And then eventually finding your way to seated in the middle of your mat. Really bringing that tailbone into connection with your mat. Finding your sense of inner stability and inner strength, coming in to either that half boat or that full boat position. Inhale fully. Pull in through your core. Exhale, lowering halfway, hold. Inhale fully. Exhale, releasing to the mat. Extend the arms up overhead. Let yourself breathe and reach from the soles of your feet through to your fingertips. Feeling the fullness of your breath. Sweeping your hands back to your hips. Bring your soles of your feet back to the mat as you bend through your knees. Let the soles of the feet come together. Let the knees go wide. Coming into a little reclined bound angle. And let yourself soften and open for 3 rounds of breath. Taking a sigh out the mouth that serves you. Noticing the rhythm of your heartbeat. Becoming aware of the pathways of your breath. And the sensations, the textures and contours within you. Perhaps bringing your awareness back to your navel as it rises and falls with your breath. On your next exhalation, bring your hands to the outer edges of your thighs, helping your legs to come back together, knees pointing towards the sky. Inhale fully. Exhale, hugging the knees to come into the chest. Begin to rock and roll long along the spine. And then eventually just coming to seated this time. So we're coming to seated, releasing our standing postures. And we're just coming to a gentle seated position, gentle cross of the legs, coming back into that Sukhasana where we began. And you're going to begin with whichever foot is on top. In this case, I have my right foot. So I'm going to begin to cradle the lower section of my right foot, perhaps bringing the right foot into the crook of my left elbow and holding on, almost like you're cradling a baby. And if that's too much for your leg, you can simply come to support the ankle and the foot and the outer edge of the knee. You want to be really careful here not to sickle the foot and really flex through that ankle, keep the integrity of the foot. So once you've got yourself embraced here, we're going to begin to roll out through that right hip, through the right glute, and really roll out any areas of constriction, noticing any crunchy spaces here. And let your breath be full and deep into the spaciousness of your pelvis, of your right hip. Taking a couple big deep sighs as you exhale, releasing that pent up energy within you. One more round of breath here. Releasing that right foot back to the mat, shifting over to the left side, tucking that left foot into your right elbow, or again, flexing through that left foot, simply supporting it. Begin to roll out through that left hip. I like the fluidity of kind of coming into circles here, but you can move in whatever way serves you. Two more rounds of breath here. releasing that left foot back to the earth. So we're going to kind of come into that loose diamond position where we were for our bound angle. And once you kind of have your hips and your legs in alignment there, you're then going to extend the right leg out to the side and hug that left heel in towards the tailbone a little more. Keeping a generally comfortable position. The point here is not to get everything pulled in, but to simply stabilize yourself here. Inhale, circling the arms up to the sky. As you exhale, you're going to bring your right arm inside the right leg, extend left fingertips up towards the sky, and then begin to bend as you continue to shift and open the heart and the chest towards the sky. You'll bend over that right leg. Softening through the jaw. I love the invitation to not be so linear or in certain planes of movement here, but actually to, at the same time that we are reaching, to still open through the chest. One more deep, full inhale. And as you exhale, gently coming back up, bending through that right leg, bringing the right foot in towards the tailbone, extending left leg out to the side. Taking any adjustments you need. Inhale, circling the arms up overhead. As you exhale, left arm comes inside the left leg. As you reach over, bending over that left leg. And then begin to turn the chest and the sternum towards the sky. Softening through that left shoulder. Softening through the forehead. Noticing how it feels to breathe and be in your body right here and now. As you exhale, gently coming back to seated. Bring your legs in, bringing the soles of the feet to connect in that diamond pattern one more time. Inhale, growing tall through the spine. As you exhale, bending forward. Perhaps bringing your hands around the outer edges of your feet, bringing your thumbs to the arches of your feet and giving yourself a little massage here. It's a really beautiful invitation to begin to touch ourselves with the intention of care. To invite those pathways of honoring and release. Tune within to really perceive ourselves just as we are. Inhale, coming back up to seated. We're then going to gently plant the soles of our feet on our mats and lower vertebrae by vertebrae down to your back. Inhale, extending the arms up to the sky, bringing them out wide on either side, and then allowing your arms to come to either shoulder, to come to a little embrace one more time. Noticing the breath move within you, noticing the breath release. And then releasing that embrace, bringing your arms down, actually out to either side. Hugging the knees into the chest. Allow the legs to fall over to the right, coming into a little supine twist, keeping both of your shoulders rooted on the mat. Inhale fully. Exhale longer. Once again, allowing your awareness and attention to tune within, to feel the breath enter you, feel yourself being filled, and then to feel yourself release once again. Your next exhale, bringing the knees back through center and then over to the left. Once again, letting yourself rest in the wave of your breath, rhythm, and the presence of your heartbeat. More deep, full inhalation here. As you exhale, bringing the knees back into the chest. Giving them one final squeeze, and then allowing each of your legs to extend long on your mat, letting your feet splay open, letting your arms come by your sides. Picking up each of your shoulders, sliding the shoulder blade down the back, and then returning the top of the shoulder down, really opening to the chest and the heart. Palms facing the sky, open and ready to receive. Once again, allowing your eyes to close or your gaze to soften, releasing any conscious efforting of the breath and the body. And simply allowing yourself to rest within you, to integrate, to breathe, to be just as you are. Taking a full breath in and a long breath out. Beginning to wiggle the fingers and toes, rolling through the feet and the wrists. Letting yourself find movement once again. With your next exhalation, inviting the knees to hug back into the chest. beginning to rock from side to side, feeling your sacrum rooted to the earth, remembering that you are always supported here. Eventually allowing yourself to fall over to a side of your choice, pausing there, breathing. Perhaps cradling your head with your arm, bringing the other hand to your belly or your hips. Connecting in. In this posture of rebirth, we are reminded that we begin again in every breath with choice, with sovereignty, with wholeness. With your next exhalation, gently bringing yourself back to seated in whatever way serves you. Bringing the palms to connect in front of your heart. Left palm in union with right palm. Slight tuck of the chin as you bow towards your heart. Taking a moment here to find appreciation for your willingness to come to your sadhana today. To be in the practice of spiritual discipline, of showing up with intention, with purpose, with wholeheartedness. And to give yourself the space to tune within yourself, to drop within the capacity of your heart and your body, to see yourself and to be yourself through fresh eyes and heart, to truly perceive yourself and life as it is. And let yourself grow and expand breath by breath, heartbeat by heartbeat, in the fullness, in the magic, and the brilliance that is you. Namaste in its simplest form means the light in me honors and acknowledges the light in you. Bringing thumbs to third eye center between the eyebrows and the forehead, bowing forward to seal your practice. Namaste. Thank you, dear ones. Thank you for coming to practice today. Thank you for coming to your mat and sharing with all of us. This is our donation yoga, and so we really believe in the power of connective community and in our capacity to influence in ever expanding, ever widening circles of impact. And so if you are sharing and donating within your community, we would love to hear about that. Feel free to drop that in the comments so we can share in that with you and to see our impact together. Have a beautiful evening. We'll see you soon.